Pro?
It's up to you, man. If you want to give it a couple more minutes, it's up to you.
Yeah, do you.
Alright, let's.
We're rolling. What slide are we on?
Alright.
0.
Slide.
Slide 1.
Day before. Freedom.
Fuck yeah.
Freedom Day.
Fries.
Couple days after Canadian.
Hooray!
What the fuck is that?
Hey, I didn't say it when you just.
What the fuck is that, eh?
Wow.
Bob. Okay.
Anyways.
So, on to slide 2. It's going to be kind of. Just to go over. Just kind of breeze through a lot of. Cap the stay. Schedule. Things. So, like. Still continue. So we'll probably. This topic is today. Ceremonies for the beta. Let's talk about some potential plans or alternative site and signed up in 2 weeks, 17 to slide. This is now 3 days, but just again recap. 26 a Monday. It's live for us. 6 p.m. Eastern Pacific.
Message received.
2 weeks prior. It's 13. It's 12. It's 12. Server. So I post just today. Basically, a server. Let's talk about in Germany servers they just announced. Said something like they're going to give us like and languages that that are being used, so it's like the actual and slide 4. Our schedule, and just to recap, 2 weeks for the rest of this month, so we can we can start separate us in the last couple of months.
I don't know. I don't want to do that.
Okay.
You wanna do bondage with me? What?
Dwops joined the server.
That's unfortunate for you.
Dwops joined your channel GSOs.
I've had enough of that.
And again, on 12th, not. It'll be for the 12th. That'll probably be kind of possible, but suggest trying to.
Should we pick streamer names so they don't go on our stream or on our server?
I don't think that honestly would stop them. Say pick the server there. I think everyone's try to take streamer name. I think they're kind of screwed in that anyhow.
Well, they apparently were already doing like guild applications and stuff, so it's going to be very difficult for people to apply to their guild without knowing what server they're going to be going to.
There is a site that sure will be updated as terminations happen. Don't join streamer. Something interesting. I'm sure someone has.
Oh, the site where they tell everybody is just like if they're on the server, they're going to make it hell for them and just camp the shit out of them.
No, they just tell you what servers you're gonna go to.
Oh no, there's a video out there. I think it's a video or a post saying, "Streamers beware! If you come on our server, you will be camped until you fucking leave. We will not give you any coordinates."
Message received.
That'd be fun.
Yes and no. And if some of those will have like former a raid to camp them all.
They say that's the whole point of it. It's just they don't want streamers on their server, and that's what they will do. I commend them if they do it.
I'll hop in a group to kill a streamer right now. Where are we going?
Alright, so streamers. Okay, next slide. Slide 5. This is the post of beta. It's to be so next are leaving tap at, which means the 40 to 60 con tested in. So that means will be tested internally, which is us part. I down it. This is probably one of the toys to have like the stuff and to see it, which is great. Just hope they test it because that's kind of important. Not saying about the mechanics, but I'm pretty sure most of the dungeons so far perfect. It's perfect. Seen like major
I haven't seen any posts of people screaming and crying about it, other than they were saying about the mobs doing the incorrect damage, and once that was debunked, that they kind of stopped talking about it. Like, that's why I'm pretty sure they're doing, or okay with doing, the raid testing internally, is because it's like most of the content in that sense has probably been working, and it's easy for them to look at the reference model and see whether or not the mob is doing what it's supposed to do. Like, they fleshed out a lot of the bugs that came with when they moved over the data and whether the characters would still work in the new engine. So I think that was the important part of letting players play, and they fixed a lot of like the hunter bug, the two big ones got fixed recently, and I think that's important that we had the beta there to test the characters, but I think the rest of it's now easily tested by them.
sure. And suppose did move stress test to the 25th. So that's in a couple. Which basically means that instead of center stress test, it's now going to show one and two in the two and something like.
They called me up and asked if I wanted to host one. I said sure.
Yeah, there's been a lot. See, there's 17th. It's a ton of stuff. But yeah, it's really good that they actually had the beta issues. But it's really good to see like for 6 or 7 months, pretty much on it. And actually, all right, move. Slide 6. actually decent, and touched on only they were going to get servers, so and should only in German, and they're doing C servers. There's a whole bunch of servers, which kind of it's like a lot of potential people interested.
And that Blizzard has faith in it too. There's definitely going to be a demand, more demand than they initially expected.
Yay, more layers.
And they did confirm the leeway being working as intended. So it's good that that's done with, and people can kind of keep the last kind of couple months and a half focused on things such as like layering and how that's going to all work, and server sizes, and kind of keep it kind of more about things that are still problems that can't be fixed. It looks like they're going to be leaving Melee Leeway exactly the way it is. I would assume same with spell batching, because they haven't seemed to have changed anything like that. Which is kind of unfortunate. But they kind of, I would like them to make some sort of comment on their spell batching.
But
like they have here with Melee Leeway.
Have 6 weeks without testing in turn. They realize tweaked.
I would suspect.
But either way, still deal with it.
Well, we'll get to see in that last stress test. It looks like they're going to let us do the starting area again, so we'll be able to see what kind of fixes they push then. And that's still like a month out from the release of the game. The hype is real.
Still trying to be because they were. Just kidding. They've done a lot. It's a lot of hunter issues.
Yeah, I don't know if Chubbins or if Millar or any of the people planning on playing Hunters have seen the fixes, but most importantly, they fixed one of the bugs that's still present in Battle for Azeroth, and they fixed it for Classic, so that's, those things are really positive.
It's gotta be super.
About it.
There's multiple bugs, but one was a passive bug, especially with your pet, and it basically would always want to switch itself to passive every time like you mount up or try to do a bunch of things. And when you would send a pet in, or if you would send it off to go kill another target, when you were about to finish off another target, as soon as you killed your target, it would stop running off to the other target and just come back to you. Whereas now they've fixed it so at least when you go and kill the target, if you send it off, it'll go finish doing what it needs to do. And also it will easily switch between passive and defensive and not switch itself. I don't play Hunter enough to know, but there's video linked in Discord showing how it's working now and him explaining how it was bugged previously.
Which target are you talking about? The target of Larry or Millar? Let me get that Hunter. Millar?
Millar, are you gonna get that Hunter?
You get that like K2
level
or K1? I don't even know which one it was.
When I level my hunter up on Classic, I gotta give it to you? Is that what?
Yeah, or you have to name your freaking raid pet after Jay Cutler.
Or name after.
It could be. Yeah, you should have your pet's name like LeBron James or something.
I'll think about it.
Or Kawhi Leonard or.
Alright, next page.
Oh shit.
7.
Don't
Page
worry, I've been
7.
watching the whole time, buddy.
So, thing that I don't know if you've seen in the as far
Pool
max
everyone's gold.
level. Yeah, pull it. Max level. Some stuff they're expecting. Potential if you saved quests like from 60 or 60 gold that
Oh, like back in like the Burning Crusade when you got like, it's not that much more. Like, like 4 times, 5 times. You know what I mean?
He's comparing
it would be
to
that
private
much.
servers with
Is it
almost
like?
nothing.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
got
like
you, but
2 times.
It's gonna be like 3 to 5 gold per quest or more.
and what is it? Is it normally like a 1 gold, right? 1 gold 70 or something like that? Okay, okay.
Which also
Which though it could be more than that because what was it last one ended at 15, right? The stress test. I was getting quests for like a gold and a half.
At level 15?
Yeah, the quest to kill the Defias messenger. I was 15 when I went and did that quest, and it gave me a gold for doing it.
Wow.
So it might give, upwards of 8 golds.
But that's
per quest.
irrelevant, kind of. That's low level stuff, so you don't know like.
But it
that's
is
a
relevant
huge
when we're
influx to
actually
level
60.
experience.
That means
So when you hit 60, it'll be like 60 gold a quest.
Well, no, because when you're a lower level,
No, I'm
the
just
amount
kidding,
of experience you need to level up is it's less, so you have a lot more experience. So the chunk that you're getting for that quest is in the same percentage, and so you're not going to get
I
as much
gotcha.
gold.
does imply server 60. Start quest 60. So items probably
More expensive.
expensive.
What's the Skull Flame shield gonna be going for, you think, or?
Oh no, I need to get one of them for my paladin though.
It'll go for a few hundred. It all depends on how the server economy is early on, and it depends on when you're talking. Like if you're talking like right off the hop, like if somebody finds it like week 1, I can't see him having it up for too high because he's going to want to sell it.
Yeah.
And there won't be enough gold sitting around to buy it, so probably 150. Which, like, expect kind of like a private server type economy. It's though we're not going to be surrounded by 15,000 people if they have 3 to 4 layers on any given server, and the auction houses are all the same. You're still going to be playing in a 13,000 player economy. So it kind of, you could probably even go on like Lights Hope or whatever and see what the newest server, it's still fairly fresh, and see what their economy is. And I have no idea what that, with being 1.12, the inflation on certain items might change everything, but and having all the content open, but still it'll be something around there because it's just there's going to be a lot more gold than back in vanilla, and there's going to be even more gold than probably private servers minus the Chinese.
Yeah, and then you have lack of Chinese, so the
Oren joined your channel GSO's House of Worros on the server.
An admin literally spawning the gold and giving it to them.
it's the same price.
But with that idea, I was talking about it incentivize grinding your previs earlier, like especially getting a BRD or Sunken Temple or the higher dungeons, running them at 57, 58 with guild groups just over and over to get experience instead of questing. Saving all your quests for gold.
Especially if you're getting or 60.
Imagine how much Ungoro would give
like
if you
Silithus?
just didn't do any of it.
It just seems like kind of high. I wonder if they don't change it later.
But it could have also been the scaling.
Is there any
15,
way to look
30.
up how much gold we can expect per quest?
TBD.
Like on Alakazam
Join
or
the
something,
server.
probably?
That's a
Probably in the
wow.
comments, people would say it.
Kill, TBD. Join
Some
your
of the
channel GSO's House of Worros on
people
the
were
server.
sure that on that we know. So you can see, I think on the
I have
set
25
60,
quests to turn in right now, and if I had numbers on what they originally, like what they give, experience and silver wise, like we could just deduce that way.
I could get you the experience for Shizzle.
Like I got all the Alderman quests.
isn't that how it's supposed to? It's on the experience you would.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like there's only a lot of us were thinking skinning, or we need this profession to help skills.
Ryazan
6 skills or
089 joined the
skills or
server.
level. It's getting
Ryazan
skills.
089 was moved to your channel GSO's House of Worros on the server.
Get something that's different.
It's so
None
much
of us should
mail to
have
sell.
any problem. So my thought was like, if you're only picking up skinning, get to like, so you can through the one skills, I would say probably better just skipping instead of spending a few seconds skinning. It's your call, especially if you're taking. It's going to be staying ahead, but then it comes. Don't even shit like that sucks.
It fucks me up whenever I run past an herb that I can't fucking
Well,
pick.
as soon as you hit 60, the first thing that you do, like you should still have your slow mount or whatever, is go back and do your professions, or at least start. Like you should be able to do both the gathering professions with little competition, even at 60, if you're the first couple there.
Yeah, because that would be like 20. So
Everyone will be leveling.
Yo, where's this PowerPoint now?
And then the other thing
Nice
is dungeon level. So just on seeing dungeon experience.
We're on page 7, though.
It's about 25% more than those two on, which is kind of a big deal if you're like doing. Let's do the same dungeon on that. You're huge benefit, extremely geared from that. Me and Mike kind of actual experience for every single kill in essence on Jing. Estimate it's how fast see. It's not too terrible. So if you did, it's brick wall. There's too many people. That is definitely a, I would say, pretty good.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to do a lot of that. Something different.
Vic joined your channel GSO's House of Worros on the server.
Just slide. Let's talk about the a little bit. Start site number 1. Have sign in or stuff. So if you want to do set, you should be able to do that. Actually, like in probably the next month, we're gonna start in some really juice into actual item listing actions, some other to specifically some pretty observation. Helped decisions for. So if you haven't, try logging, setting your password, or actually we'll get there's a link Discord too, which we do use for a lot of announcements and chatting about.
No, I like it. The only question is, how come the countdown isn't working?
Countdown sites work.
Oh, is it? If you open up the website and look at the bottom of guys, there is a countdown. It's working, and it looks just like the one from the Blizzard website. I would say almost identical.
Almost. I wonder. That's crazy.
JavaScript. It's fun.
I'm impressed.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Let's move on. Slide, we just slide whatever. It says.
Awesome. Whatever else known as 9.
So,
Message received.
Sure, if you're like, where is this person?
I don't see my name. I see Big Booty Licks.
I see Big Boy Noise as a warrior DPS.
I don't see myself.
And then there's a Big Booty Licks.
Right. Oh wait, I'm confused.
Are you a priest or are you a warrior?
He didn't have his eyes all the way open.
I don't think we ever got your definitive.
Wait, I'm not. Wait. I'm confused.
It sounds like it, buddy. I see your name right there as Warrior DPS.
This isn't a decision made for you. This is just, I think Pro was just putting you where he thought you were. If you want to be priest?
I thought I was priest, but...
No, you don't think, if that's what you want.
See, this is why we...
Oh, I thought you actually... My name is Big Booty Licks as a joke. Unless that's an actual person.
That's an actual person,
No,
so there'd be Big Boy and a Big Booty.
Big boy, not big boy.
I don't know, I was either into one or the other.
He can do something he has there with the share with the Jura there, 50%, 50%. We can put you as 50%.
No, I legitimately thought Big Booty Licks was a joke. But if that's a person's name...
Well, he could be a joke. We don't know.
Nah, Big Boy, that's his name.
But...
I recruited him from beta.
What do we see from this? Some that... Some that... To... This kind of gives you an estimate of few people in the like decided.
And also keep in mind if there's any new players here, any of the older players, that just because there's a name there by the class doesn't mean that's like a set in stone type thing. Doesn't mean they have a walk-on raid spot. And the colors, I think, are just last time that they've been spoken with. And the color in green means they've been spoken with recently, perhaps. I'm not too 100% sure on the color coding because there's purples in there too. There's no legend.
Turkleton Mage
I'm lost.
off.
Pink is pretty sure they're casual.
Able to make the raid timer. Yeah, okay. And green means recently spoken to.
Our first people to get the gear? I thought
And
that's
what
what
does
green
white mean?
Whites are just from the website.
The whites.
You could take the Turkleton guy off. He told me he wouldn't be able to commit.
And then the people on the right are just unconfirmed or haven't been spoken to in a long time.
Yeah, and there's a couple. I don't know if we should. I'd love. Still, like, since we
Well, does anybody have contact with him? Merge or Finley? Anybody have contact with him? Okay, well.
I think Nor and Xanthra are like 90% sure they're not playing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that sucks. They were very nice folks.
What does purple mean?
I can ask.
They're the special people?
They're the ones that might not be able to make the raid time consistent.
There might be like a few other. Should be special category.
I would like Oron.
What? What? You may now refer to me as.
I do like that. It's a healthy
Kawhi
number.
James.
Like if just say like 80% of
Could
this
use
showed
more
up,
green
that's
priests.
still an incredible number to walk into the game with and still be able to recruit from what we see there with a healthy number of players that are already committed to the end game. It is actually
We're
really
definitely
nice
gonna need
split.
that hunter though.
I also have like 7 friends that are going to be playing as well, and they're all going to roll on our server.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know, like,
You
they'll
don't
be able to
have
do like
friends?
raid times and stuff, but at least they'll be there for like an alt raid or something.
You know, friends don't always
You're
work out
right, you
though.
only have
Remember
6.
that warrior I brought in to the guild, man? Remember that guy?
But it'll be the same thing, like, if there's overflow, if say all these people ended up showing up and we had an excessive number of players, that is the benefit of having the alt raid that we're going to try and have going as soon as possible, that we can facilitate for not a 2 raid where you look at it as a raid A and raid B, but we could definitely facilitate for an extra overflow of players that could easily opt to just do a full clear of the other raid as opposed to making it in for a couple bosses in the main raid that particular night or whatnot.
That helps with the long. It's in 6 months.
Or they really want to separate their, like if the loot needs to be done a certain way, that, you know, it'd be nice if we could double up the chances of somebody getting something particular, like off the top of my head, just with warrior tanks and stuff like that, or with mages and casters or trinkets or something like that down the road. If we're like, hey, we really need to do something like this, it'd be easy to swap them into the alt raid and give it a secondary chance of the item to be shared.
It's really the power of the. It's on. That's why we're so geared. Like what? 3 main. Just take.
Yeah. We'd only reserve a few items, but we would reserve the best, and you know that was ideal. Other than that, it was a lot of pugs we get things. But if we can comprise that run of only our alts and players' mains, then we don't have to worry about distributing any of the loot to pugs, and everything's kept in house. And then we don't have to worry about reserving stuff. We can just, you know, loot it out to see what's best to help the main raid, and also
we can do gold runs if we want to specifically. Also,
for sure. But I think a healthy roster is important, especially for Classic, because it's not a sprint. Classic is very much a marathon. And being able to stick through the content and be able to stick through the farm nights, it's nice to have a bench. It's nice to be able to be able to say, hey, I need to tonight off or something like that, and it not be any sort of issue. Whereas if you're running 40 to 45 players, it's...
You mean 33?
Well, yes, yeah. But if you're running 40 to 45 players, something like that, it's a lot more complicated when somebody says, hey, I can't make it, or something like that. It's a little bit more stress, but that is also why we keep it to a 3-night, 9-hour raid week, so... Other than potential world bosses and stuff at random times. But yeah, this is cool. I like this little sheet. I like seeing all the names, and it's good seeing all the different recruits. It's a good spread on the recruits.
And this is should be.
Hi.
Birdie's name is not capitalized, and it's bothering me. Am I the only one who noticed that? It's right above my name, that's why.
Oddly, it's the only one as well.
Birdie, does this bother you?
Not at all.
Oh, alright, it's just me.
Who did that?
No.
Is it
Comments,
August yet?
concerns?
Also, keep in mind, I'm sure there's some rogues, I'm sure there's some mages looking at that, and even you could even say DPS warriors looking at this list right now and just being like, yeah, cool.
Welcome to Classic WoW.
Like, keep in mind, some of these are up in the air players. Some of the names you're seeing, especially in the mage column, very up in the air with some of the people. So don't get too deterred. I know I'd be looking at that and being like, just naming off the names and the rogues. There's a lot of known names there, and
I think
think of it as competition. We're still going to be keeping the numbers, regardless of how many we end up having. We're not going to be housing 7, 8 players of any particular class in the raid. If we were playing Horde, the only exception to that would have been Shamans, but we don't play Horde, so there's no real exception to that. So we're pretty much, you can guarantee there'll be competition for some of these raid spots, and that's good.
Like we had on NOS?
It's impressive to see that many druids. I'll be impressed to see that actually happen, but that's cool to see.
I really hope that. Well, I mean, I know Aniva is pretty dependable.
Andy's pretty.
And
I am pretty
Lastine
good with
is pretty and doesn't mind sitting on the bench if there's room that's needed.
She's also going to be done school, so she's going to be all for it. Well, she is done school, she already passed her.
I heard. I'm really excited for her.
But yeah, so it's
The
going to be nice to
full
see the
nurse
druids.
now.
And yeah, I think the Warlock is looking nicer now. That was really shady for a bit there. We were only having, well, we hadn't talked to Targaryen. We didn't have those 2 recruits. I don't know who Addix is. I'm assuming that's another recruit, but I don't know that person.
Flex will either be playing a hunter or a warlock, I believe.
But no, it's starting. It's a really nice. It's a nice spread. Paladin's a little tight, just because you'd want to see that many show up at the end. Not 100% sure.
Any given for the
I'm saying like I would probably want more. I meant like it's a little tight because there's only 5. It'd be nice to add another paladin or 2. Just paladins and druids, warlocks seems to always be the issue near the end.
Yo, I played the
somebody-
priest, but I wouldn't mind rolling a paladin.
Yeah, I was just gonna say there was somebody talking in where I was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, hold on, let me
whatever
go through
people are confident and comfortable playing in, we're totally open for it, and that's the best thing, being flexible with looking at, if you're not somebody that says, not so much that you're shying away from competition at the class, but if you're somebody that's like, hey, I can benefit the raid better this way, by all means, whatever you want to do to that you think
But
is going to be best?
also, like I said in Discord, play what you want to play. Like, don't force yourself to play something that you might not want to play. Because you're not going to have fun and you're going to burn out faster.
Oh, I've just been stuck 50-50 between the two. This just makes it easier.
Well, you can tip it to 60-40.
That's true.
Yeah. So yeah, whatever you're feeling, put you as tentative, and then come classic. Just we'll know then, because it doesn't really matter until everyone's level 60 anyways, and then we can get in more of a C again. But
I know we need derp. Just a couple. Shadow.
yeah, because we'll be able to roll Shadow Priest right off the hop with the extra debuff slots, so there's no reason not to have it.
We have somebody who wants to be a Shadow Priest. The MH Marlboro guy.
So you got.
I think you got slide 10.
Right, side. Meeting. So. Give me all stuff. Listing of. So then we could system to try to best fit everything. Well, it's covering the main goal. It's like stuff should be exception. What else you guys got?
I was gonna say I was also gonna say for the loot meeting after we had the little officer meeting just to kind of go through stuff, but I do want it to be kind of a really kind of a deep dive when it comes to the loot. I really want to put the time in just to kind of get it done and do it as concise as possible, and so I would really love it if, I don't want to say a representative, but if somebody could try and be there from each class, somebody that with knowledge and understanding of the way the loot is supposed to be, not so much distributed, but how it works best for your class. It doesn't need to be how you think it should be distributed, but how it works best for your class. If we get multiple people, I don't care. This, what I'm trying to say is, like, when we do the meeting for the loot, I want everyone to feel like they can come, and everyone can come, but I'd really like it if people came that had mindsets towards loot, or you can listen to it, but like people that don't really 100% know exactly what they want or need, to kind of just kind of stand back a little bit and allow the people that know exactly what the class needs or whatever to be the one that kind of speaks, so we can kind of be concise and really work through it and have good debates, and no one to come in with any sort of bias towards any loot that they are just preference to but may not necessarily be best. So this is the debate. It's going to make our loot council exceptionally more cleaner and straightforward if we get this proper and concise, but if there's any sort of tampering or waste of time and things don't get to, it's going to really reflect later on in the loot distribution, and that's not going to be beneficial. So if we can kind of really work that out.
Is there any like 8-piece should really someone first?
Well,
priest.
We can. Well, if he's probably talking about like a hunter or a single hunter getting a full tier 1 or something like that. And like, because every tier piece is already going to be loot distributed anyways, and I don't care about that stuff. Anything that has that's going to be dealt by the class leader. What the loot that we want to be discussing at this loot council meeting is, first, determining whether is this piece a class-specific piece. Is this best in slot only for hunter? Is this best in slot only for a warrior? And the simple pieces like that, I want to just be, yes, that is, move it off the table. We don't need to talk about it or discuss it. Then we find the pieces that are debatable to be done between either 2 classes or 3 classes or 4 classes, whatever, however big the piece gets. And those are the pieces that we really need to hammer out and work out as to how is this piece the best, when is it the best, the situational best, and that way we can determine when that piece drops, how that piece falls into, at what stage we're at, and then we can help determine how the piece should be distributed based on when it is that it dropped, as opposed to just saying this piece is best for this person just because. Like, it needs to have more reasoning as to why.
There's going to be a few pieces. Just think of D. Say, best in slot. It's a rogue. It's gonna be challenging, and for some people, so is really where 2 shots at which we can.
But yeah, so we'll have an officer meeting and kind of just do a little discussion about some things, and then we'll have a set day. It may not be on a guild meeting day. It might be something that we think more people can attend, maybe a weekend or something like that, just to really sit down and hash out the loot as best we can and really hammer it out.
Try to go.
I would hash out it as far as the piece takes. Well, you take it as far as the piece takes you. Like when you're trying to determine a certain piece, if it means that you need to debate it as far as Nax to argue the piece, that decides the best, then we'll argue it that way. But we'll do as much as necessary. Nax, you want to say it all depends on really how the game gets decided on come Nax, because the early on Nax, if we're progressing, some of the loot's important, but once Nax is cleared, there's still going to be lots of pieces that haven't been obtained, provided we're progressive as we want to be. I don't suspect the progression of Nax to be overly long to the extent where we're going in there fully geared out of Nax gear by the time we finally get to clear it. So there'll be a lot of pieces that people will want to obtain, and then how do we distribute those pieces when, if let's say the game is not continuing on to anything, or if the is continuing anything, if you're playing Alliance, for instance, and they're not offering a server transfer, faction change, do you want to play TBC as an Alliance character, and just kind of things like that. So there's things to think of, but I would say at least up to AQ, having everything determined there. And then Nax, if we need to talk about it, we can go into that kind of loot as well. But of course, it'd be a good idea to have it worked out.
That brings up a point. Some stuff in the past, some base assumptions, level of 6-pack. So our price itself was tier 1 gear. 4 was crap. This is actually pretty decent. That might, like, other items that this class now should.
Yep, and that's exactly why I want people to come in with an idea and an understanding of the loot in the class, so that when we debate, we can have those debates and understanding that it's going to be 1.12 and how does it affect you now, and the amount of pieces that are now open to you. I think a lot of the people are pretty smart and know a lot of what their best in slots already are, so it'll be pretty simple in that sense. And I really think there isn't that many pieces that are really crossover pieces for a lot of classes. I think at the end of the day we will be able to work out the mass majority of the loot that we'll be seeing, and we'll be able to handle that very quickly.
Yep.
So that'll be good.
I just want to say I'm excited for people to crash their clients by trying to link unsafe items in game.
I agree.
So, 6 weeks from now?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. And there's a little
We get to
cell.
bosses. Let's
I am
try to
looking
cut the
forward.
explanations down from 15 minutes to like 2.
Or somewhere around 0.
I think that idea.
Though,
Like, make
towards the end of Nax, it's more acceptable. But
We're literally gonna if we're playing with people that don't know the basic strats of instances, we can literally link them to multiple of our boss kills, and the majority of our strats for probably the first 2 instances, I can't see them wavering that drastically. If anything, some of the strats, like, we might be easier doing some of the bosses than they ever were, and some of them might be harder, but the strats themselves won't be any different. So we can. There really should be no reason we have to explain it other than, healing assignments and basic. We have to stand here kind of thing.
Yeah, should be stand
Like AQ,
target boss.
AQ and Nax, we can explain stuff more. I think MC and Blacking Layer, the amount of mechanics are next to none.
I just want to finish Blackwing Lair in the first night.
And I would, and some people I would add definitely getting your Molten Core rep into your potentially leveling route at the end there, getting out Facilitus and grinding that out, because it would be very nice to be able to douse our very first night,
Week 1.
a full douse without having to
I'll be
teleport
the one
anybody out.
person going back and
There's
forth.
gonna be some past and you like jog like that. Some of the basics, like that's.
Yeah, there's no reason not to have it. That'd be 100%. That won't even be up for debate by any means. Just to have that, there's no reason to not have it. It takes 10 seconds, and after a raid, with the port back, everyone goes out, gets a port. It's like 10 minutes after a raid to have it, and you're good to go.
Some people.
Yeah.
It's just not swamped. It's kidding.
Yeah, I'm super jazzed up for Classic. I hope everyone else is as well. Try and look past anything that you're seeing as a negative right now, provided it's not part of the game. Like if it's a game thing that they still haven't fixed, like if you're a certain class, see a bug with your class, I understand that, but try and see past the layering issues or anything that you're currently seeing as a problem, because they've made huge strides. There's no private server right now that could contest with the scripting currently, even just off the beta. It's
So known. This view is what you get. Actually goes live. It's like
that's always been their thing. They've been known for showing people outdated UIs and showing people, the unfinished stuff when secretly they've already had it done. But that's that'd be great. But at this point, I think it's doing really good. I think it's really close, and I think it's super positive. But the debates are fun. We'll keep the debates going about all the different things in the game, the aspects of the game. It'd be cool to see some different people chatting in Discord and getting their opinion out there and how their feels are. It's good seeing everyone at the meeting. Who wants who came? Yeah. Yeah, a couple extra minutes because you started a little late. But yeah.
Alright, so from anyone?
Hello.
Hello, Wes.
I just wanted to ask if it had been set in stone the location that's going to be picked for the server.
So Should
Assuming we will know from Blizzard.
if we know outside of like server name, give us which I give us the server themselves. Sugarcoat it by saying this is an East Coast, this is essential. It's exact. This is a Chicago server. Basically, we're split between East Coast, and if you look at like slides back, all East Coast, it does that would kind of a same point. Ping 20
I understand.
Side of country, however, that
Yeah.
and sadly,
Mhm.
I don't think it's something that can,
I understand. I never like even considered it. I just assumed. Do you know what I mean?
That's what the base assumption that we actually know, which also implies like if we don't, still gonna server and Chicago server, all of East Coast people still you're gonna it served, and then after actually what server look, I don't know how to do it. Sound crazy.
Blizzard's gonna troll us and send us all to Australia servers.
What's your ping on East and West, Baz?
To east it's about 100, and to west it's about 160.
Oh, jeez.
And unfortunately, I have some friends. Most of me and Ivan's friends are East Coast or EU. So.
And how come you don't want to play on the EU servers?
Because my friends are on the US.
Ah, sure enough.
Yeah, and I think, assuming that the servers are known, they, our group of friends will definitely go Chicago or wherever is the most central.
For sure.
I'm just letting you know.
Oh no, we completely understand too. And that's the issue with the ping thing. For 1 year living within the country, it's not such a big deal. But we definitely understand for anybody that's living abroad.
60 servers.
Yeah, well, I tried. I did a 115 on east and west, and especially with a druid shape shifting and things like that, it's unpleasant. The difference between. It's actually less. I would say between EU and East is less noticeable than East to West. I think it's once you get past that kind of 100 threshold, it seems to be quite unresponsive, like trying to cancel a heal and things like that.
Like hitting bear form and it not going off, and hitting bear form again, and all of a sudden you're back in caster form.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I had to deal with that on private servers. Fucking sucked.
Someone to bring up too, but it's like 90% of our play. That's where we.
Understand.
I know we actually same distance that. So like. Same amount.
Mm-hmm.
Any other
Just need that
questions?
SpaceX internet.
Questions, comment?
Will there
Who's
be?
coming from Hawaii?
Is it? Are you guys for sure gonna have a shadow priest?
100% we're gonna have like a person, or we're gonna have a shadow priest.
Just in raid.
100% we're gonna have one in
Yeah.
raid. Yes.
We're gonna run 4 or 5 warlocks, so you pretty much want to run at that point.
If you only have like 2 or 3 warlocks, then you get like to 6. Shadow priest should be. That could be. Just having a shot.
Are you against a killer, or you want to be it?
No, I'm possibly playing warlock, so that would definitely help.
Oh, for some reason I thought.
We plan on having probably 5 warlocks and definitely a shadow priest, which is what 15% per warlock.
What do you list kill?
HK6, but I don't know what my name's gonna be.
Oh.
And I'm not sure if I'm playing warlock, but definitely having shadow priest would impact that decision.
Yeah, we ran Shadow Priest on every private server we made. Well, it was always Derp forever was our Shadow Priest, but we always made him wait until we had the debuff slots, because most servers went without the instant debuff slots. But with this case, with full debuff slots off the start, we're pretty much going to have one probably day 1.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They get a little fucked on loot though. Like warlocks are still gonna get pry out on the majority of the loot, just because their output. No, it doesn't matter how much gear you throw at them. Like their output still is never gonna be that comparable. So finding a good shadow priest is difficult because of that.
A week. So it depends. Shouldn't just.
Yeah, that could be private server numbers. I really don't know vanilla numbers on them. They could end up being like hunters, shadow priests, and things. They could be much more viable than they were on private servers. Who knows? And if it pans out to be that way, then we'll definitely adapt. But if it was the way it was before, yeah.
If the Shadow Priest is out DPSing mages and warlocks, I'm not going to shed any tears if those mages and warlocks get passed over.
Well, of course, absolutely not. Like
They
for
wouldn't
sure.
be in raid very long.
But
Derp would be some fights he would pull it.
But pro, we had people like Alep in the guild.
Yeah, and that guy Randy, who sucks.
This is good.
Yes. Derp always beat me too. Oh man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we want to be we want as much competitiveness as possible, and it sucks that you can't do that with a shadow
If
priest.
Alep was more competitive, it would have been pretty nice, because he was a nice guy. But
Actually, it would have been just a total improvement if he just actually shadow bolted consistently throughout the fight.
Yeah.
His 20 to 30 second lulls on some fights, or 15 seconds without doing anything, didn't quite add up.
It's weird. Which is because.
Yeah. Well, that's also not being at the mercy of the private server community either. We're gonna have I think we're gonna have a much stronger and healthier player base to play from, as opposed to just the same people on every single server over and over and over again. Be like, oh, it's the same people. Yeah. And not only having.
Track's really doing it for you, Mike.
Fuck yeah.
Say we have this list, do we still do recruiting?
I wouldn't say mass recruiting, but I think we do specific recruiting if there's certain classes, or just keep the the noise about us out there, just let people know.
We keep our names out of the trade chat, though, kind of stuff.
Yeah. We don't need to spam it, but at the same time, it all depends. Like if we do have like the 60 players or whatever showing up, and we know at least 40 of them are for sure, then yeah, we don't need to really say much. But at the same time, I don't want to miss opportunities and to pick up good players at the start just because we think that we're good to go. There's no reason to do that when how long Classic's gonna last for.
Might have been like, try it out.
It all depends on how they play the game, I guess.
I'm seriously worried about burnout, so I'm like trying to not get too into it.
I'm not too worried about burning out, so to speak, just because I don't know. The only reason I burned out last time on the last two servers was because it was like the fourth time doing the same thing. It was our 200th rate of Molten Core, and it loses a bit of its flavor, and especially. Oh no, but.
It's gonna happen in Classic.
But I
too,
think
but
that's what we're used to seeing is a lot of drop off of the game, and I think it's because a lot of us played the private servers, so it's hard for us to say what we think is going to actually happen because we're so used to seeing people, again, playing the same shit over and over and over again, the same people, and now we get this huge fresh influx of players, and some players will get their itch back, but I think a lot of new players are going to just get enthralled by the game, and I don't know, people keep saying like, oh, the new generation only wants instant gratification games, but maybe they don't know that they want a hard game that actually rewards them while still being, it's not that hard, like, it's like hard, it's achievable, yeah, it's not.
I haven't seen anyone say like, oh, it's too hard.
No. It's rewarding, exactly, and it's an obtainable, like we already say, it's obtainable to actually get like the best. You don't have to put in 10,000 hours to in mythic rating or whatever in your mediocre guild to finally clear stuff. I know top end guilds smash it out in a week, but there's still mediocre guilds or semi-top end guilds that want to still get their achievements or finish mythic but can't do it. But vanilla is achievable.
Mediocre guilds in vanilla.
Oh, for sure, but it's just obtainable, and it's fun. And I don't know, I think a lot of new or younger kids might actually enjoy the game if they get over the initial hump. Like once they get past the initial, like how slow it is, if they can get into it, and once they get like their first greens and blues, I'm sure it'll be a lot like how when we first played it, like the feeling that they'd just be like, holy crap, like look how good this is compared to the garbage I've been using the whole time. And I think, yeah, the first epic, I think they're going to get that same bug and the same feel, and the game is going to be a lot more lively, and it'll be more like Nostalrius, because I didn't really see much problem with Nostalrius in the way the server was going population-wise, and everything seemed like it was on the up and up. So I think it'll be more of that, and less of the distaste. Yeah, on the Blizzard.
It's proper. It should have done spells. Like
all the ones in LBRS.
It's not. There was like they had two moves. Debut 5 seconds.
It wasn't even 5 seconds, it was like half a second.
But that's shown to be like kind of. It's because they can.
Just because the cooldown's up doesn't mean they're gonna use it.
Exciting stuff.
Does that mean recess?
Recess, yeah. I think that's it. Thanks for coming. See you in a couple.
Happy 4th.
Still there.
Don't tell the hood it's the 3rd.
Carissa disconnected from your channel GSO's
Yeah, but then you're
House
not
of
in a bar.
Worrows from the server.
Yeah, feel free to still chat if anyone has anything else they want to chat about.
ILF on the server. Baz disconnected from your channel GSO's House of Worrows. Tanny left your channel and switched to Weeby Chubbit on the server.
Not worried about burnout because I'll play multiple characters, so I'll play the game more to avoid burnout, right?
I think it'll be a little bit more of an investment too. I know $15 isn't a lot, but if you're gonna pay $15, you might as well play the game.
Hey, Michael, come look at this.
But cheapest, it's still 100.
Right, and
Decent chunk of change.
that's why I ain't burning out.
Yeah, the alt is gonna be for a lot. So you're looking at 60.
Take my time leveling alts too. Like, well, maybe not my second alt, but like 3rd, 4th, and 5th alt doing all the quests.
Yeah, you could do sitting in.
To get my second alt to 60 pretty quick also. My first alt right.
Did you steal Indiana Jones?
No, he was here. I found him.
In this room?
Yeah.
I just love it. Could have not.
I'm gonna buy his outfit from him.
That reminds me, actually, I think I don't know if it was on Northdale or if it's on that new server, but people are in there fucking farming Nax and 5-mans. The trash and shit, I guess, around the middle. Yeah, getting,
I remember a Mage video where he was soloing just by rank spell circles.
I mean, if it's a legitimate deal, that'd be fucking awesome, dude. That'd be so cool to be able to do that, get some really great gear from it.
Yeah, I mean, Axe trashed servo.
It's just high DPS
Paladin
one hand
weapon, maybe paladin pants. They were goodness, I can't remember. Yeah, the one-handed mace, a couple of other items. They were selling them to Chinese people.
Like if you're like AQ, trash drops.
That's a good question. I mean, I've never still even done Nax.
That's what I use.
You're lying. You've never done it.
See?
Oh, I did it last year on Retro WoW.
In my 20 used to do it.
Fire ring's good. The shield is probably really good because it's got super high armor and the proc.
That's right. There was the mage ring. That's right.
Leather chest. Warriors would probably want 40 strength and 2 crit.
Chest is the chest from AQ.
Yeah, but Nax trash versus killing that boss.
It's possible. Which is another stolen. Sell it on the site. Sell on some servers. It's never. It's to buy this trinket now.
Sell that dagger to a rogue, that would be fucking huge. Harbinger of Doom.
Yeah, that's a good.
Has anybody killed any like molten core stuff yet on Silverhand?
Oh, I think they were doing it as soon as they hit 60. That's why I looked. I wanted to see what they were doing.
Is there like a progress tracker somewhere?
I just looked on the Reddit forum. That was it.
Zagor have good kiters.
They should be doing AQ20 and CG.
Should be on.
Yeah, and they don't even have to clear the whole things either. Like, just go in there and get that loot would be a big upgrade. I would say they'd probably have this shit cleared in a month or so. All depends how much hours they're willing to throw at it. They have a lot of raid content they have that they can be doing. Even if it means just going in there to get a single boss. Once they get their attunements. Nax will be the hardest attunement this early.
You just grind a whole bunch of rep.
Yeah,
But
I'm
yeah,
just
I
meaning
guess
like a
that's still
return
harder
question.
than all the other ones.
Yeah. This just be the hardest thing to do. Other than that, you'd be getting there, getting content probably right away.
Silverhand Lights Hope. I looked 2 days. I looked 2 days ago, and they said it had been out for 20 days at that point. So I assume 3 weeks now, but I'm not sure about that. But I was interested in it all too. Pretty ridiculous though.
Oh, there it is. It's there now.
You should be able to see. It's like the site we.
Legacy players? I'm looking at that, but I can't
Wait a minute.
find
Realm players or whatever. Yeah, Legacy players.
Lightbringer. I don't see Silverhand on there. I don't think it's tracked. If no one's reporting. Whatever.
I do know that Northdale has more players. Oh, not a lot of people.
Yeah, I only see
Surprised at
Northdale stuff being reported. Some Chronos 3. Some Night Haven, wherever Night Haven is.
I didn't even think to look on Legacy Logs.